The density adjustment is something I actually use quite a bit when working with decorative stitches, and there's so many decorative stitches on the Pfaff Creative Icon too. So what happens is that your built-in stitches have kind of a preset density or stitch length. Now, normally on machines, when you want something to be a little closer together, especially when you're using some thinner thread, so see here, like at a glance, this doesn't look bad, but I can tell, I can still see some of the fabric showing through that particular decorative stitch. I was doing this for one of the other videos, and all in all, it looks fine. But if I was actually stitching this on something, especially when we do like our blocks for the Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course, I want my stitches a little closer together. So like I said, traditionally you are known to adjust the stitch length. So you might make the stitch length a little closer together. But what happens is the stitch actually shrinks. So instead of it being this big of a decorative stitch, it is now shorter. So I'm going to put this back to the normal length that was preset to be. And then notice right underneath the word length, there's kind of like a little toggle switch. So just touch the word length and you will see that the density is actually what comes up next. So a 0.4 satin stitch density is what it's defaulted to. You can touch the minus sign and your picture on screen will actually get darker. That darkerness actually is showing that there's more stitches in that same amount of space than there was earlier, but the stitch is the same length. So I love coming in here. Now, you might actually get your density too close together and it won't feed, and that would be based on your thread thickness. But if you're using a thinner thread, like an embroidery thread, you will find that having more stitches is beautiful for a nicer finish. So just because it's preset doesn't mean you can change it, but you will find you will need to change it by first going to the density screen. So try that out. Check out all the videos that we even have set for free that you can watch regarding that Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course. That is a great way to utilize your stitches. Remember, when you're making your stitch book, depending on your thread that you're using, you might also pick your stitch, adjust the density. Just remember that if you pick another stitch and you're using the same thread, you'll need to adjust the density for each pattern you pick. So it doesn't remember it from pattern to pattern, but you can always control how many stitches you get within that pattern without changing the length of the pattern.